Welcome back here to White Plains High School. It is just about time for our nightcap. White Plains taking on the Anniston Bulldogs. And Grady Sapp, Jim Jacobs back with you. And Jim, as we start to set up this game, of course, for White Plains, only the one loss of the season. They had come into Oxford earlier this year. Went down and won the Lincoln Thanksgiving tournament. Had a win over Ohatchee here on Thursday night. They take on an Anniston Bulldog team that is 0-4.
Yeah, but don't let that deceive you, Grady. Those losses have come to at the hands of some really good basketball programs across the state of Alabama. Coach Brown's done a really nice job exposing his kids to some quality basketball early in the season. Those losses have come to people like Sylacauga, Talladega,
Ramsey,
Smith Station, and Ramsey.
Yep.
All teams that are Final Four potential teams once again this season. So, and really, I think only one of them was rather lopsided.
Yeah, Ramsey was a pretty lopsided.
Yeah, pretty
win.
lopsided affair. But this Anniston club, and as we look at them out here on the floor, the one thing we noticed early is they have some size.
They do indeed. So we'll see how White Plains what they will do as far as that matchup. Of course, inside, obviously, the advantage going to go for the Bulldogs on the inside. For White Plains, though, going to have to shoot the ball well, and you're going to have to get position and rebound well.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to have to block out when the ball goes up on the backboard. Somebody's, you got to get a body on a body, and you got to be. This is going to be a transition basketball game. White Plains is going to have to do a really good job getting the ball up and down the floor. And, Grady, as you look at this squad, we didn't talk a lot about this in the first game last week when we did. But for White Plains, this is a roster of names that really hadn't seen a lot of playing time. No. I mean, really when you go down the roster and you look at everybody that's on the varsity squad this year, which is, 10 kids strong, Gavin Burridge and Austin Bussey and Drake Preston are really the only three that got minutes last year. And most of those were in substitute roles. So this is a really unseasoned basketball team that Coach Randall's starting the 17-18 season with.
And I've talked to Coach Randall back before the season and when we were into preseason practice and all, and he said that this team is going to be really, really solid by the time February rolls around. We talked about that earlier. Right now you're playing to get better for the stretch run, and by then he expects this team to be a good basketball team.
And that's going to be kind of different for White Plains as well, Grady, because one of the things we've always said about Coach Randall's boys squads is they've always started fast because they're so fundamentally sound. White Plains is always going to be a fundamentally sound basketball team that's going to play good defense. It's going to get after you. And somewhere on the floor, there's some guys that can score some points. And normally that's what has made them such a get-out-of-the-gate fast club. And quite frankly, you haven't seen them really take that next step in January because they're so solid when the season starts.
Right.
I think this club, like you said, is a club that's going to come together as the season progresses just because they're going to get the game experience that there was no other way they were going to get it than just play.
And that will make a difference down the stretch for this team, and look for them to continue to improve as the year goes on. Well, we're just moments away from our national anthem and our opening tip, so why don't we get one quick timeout. We'll be back with the national anthem and the starting lineups, and we're ready to play basketball here on the Friday Night Network.
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro.
Serving Calhoun County for over 30 years, Crawford Office Supply offers selection, convenience, and low prices. Choose from a wide variety of office furnishings featured in their huge showroom. With savings of 50 to 70% off scratch and dent items. You'll find it all from pens and paper to janitorial supplies at Crawford Office Supply, including on-site printing, all backed up by unmatched personal service and free delivery to local business. Crawford Office Supply, 301 South Layton Avenue in Anniston. Remember, buy local, it matters.
District 40 State Representative K.L. Brown would like to take this opportunity to wish the White Plains Wildcats the best of luck. K.L. Brown is your conservative Republican voice in Montgomery, working hard to make sure that state government is doing its best for everyone in the district. Brown chairs the Children and Senior Advisory Committee while serving on the Agriculture and Forestry and Economic Development and Tourism Committees. As a longtime area business leader, K.L. Brown uses the common sense and leadership skills learned over the years to be a steady, conservative Republican voice for the people in the district. Good luck, Wildcats, from State Representative K.L. Brown.
There you have the playing of our national anthem tonight. And, Jim, that will get us to the starting lineups, and we're just about ready to get the ball in the air for our final game of the night.
Yeah, the Anniston Bulldogs, of course, being introduced first under second-year coach Tory Brown. As you see the roster come up on the screen there, that's all the members of the varsity squad. And Grady, you know, with Anniston, you know what you're going to get.
You're going to get athletic guys who can shoot and rebound.
And play with heart and passion, you know. I mean, how many times have we seen Anniston? I mean, I think back to that regional game against May Jemison we did a couple of years ago that, you know, they should have won.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the knockoff of Sacred Heart in the county tournament 2 years ago.
And, of course, White Plains, as you see, just a complete redo for this team. Lost a lot off of the squad from last year. As you said, playing with a lot of inexperienced guys. But here they are, another good start to the season, and you expect nothing less from Coach Randall.
Yeah, Coleman Messer, of course, being introduced. Matthew Clay coming out on the floor.
Yeah, Chase Helms has been introduced. Also, Gavin Burridge is now being introduced. And Drake Preston will be the final member of the starting five to be introduced tonight.
Number 15, the Wildcats are coached by Chris Randall, assisted by John Brown Carter, Brian Gargoyle, and Justin Malachi.
So White Plains introduced. The team huddles up out in the middle of the floor. Coach Randall goes out to join them. And we are set for some up and down the floor basketball. This one ought to be entertaining.
Roderick Orr will be jumping center, and Drake Preston out there for White Plains. Wildcats ready to go, as are the Bulldogs, and we are ready as well.
Nice crowd here tonight.
Yep.
At Coach Richard Madden Court for this one.
White Plains will control that opening tip. Burridge has it. Drop it over for Helms. Now Clay will have it, and White Plains going to move it around the perimeter. Now Messer's got it, and back outside for Helms. Anniston going to look to play a 2-3 zone in there. Pack it in, too. And if you want to make White Plains beat you from the outside, they're perfectly fine with that. Ball kicked out of bounds. It'll belong to White Plains.
Got to get on one of those runs like we saw Cherokee County have Monday night or last Friday night. 26 points in a quarter.
Yeah,
and
that was a heck of a start.
Yeah. 6 threes, I think.
Yep. So Anniston now with their first look at it. And Roderick Orr's got it inside, misses the shot. And we're going to have a late foul called in there.
And if you're Anniston, you know, it's obvious. You take advantage of the size. You
Sure.
get that thing down in there. You get White Plains in foul trouble. You get closer looks at the basket.
Yep, and that was Drake Preston who picked up the foul. Orr misses the first free throw. He'll have one more coming up. And the second free throw off the mark as well for Orr.
Anniston picking up kind of a little token pressure there.
Yep.
I like that move, Grady. I think it just kind of takes you out of what you want to do coming down the floor.
Preston inside, gets in a little deep, comes back out. Burridge spots up for three. That's off the front of the iron, no good. Tipped around, and Anniston will come out of there with it. Kwame Milton has it, and Milton will bring it back up, drop it off for Orr. Orr will come across for Bethune, and here come the Bulldogs. Milton flashes out to James Haynes. And now back over to Bethune in the corner. Savion Bethune, top of the key. Now swinging around the horn, and Anniston looking for the shot. White Plains also packing in the zone right now. We have a travel committed by Bethune.
Good job by the Wildcats, cutting down the passing lanes. You got to take your top off, son.
There's Pearson Branham. Branham, who
like father, like son.
Yeah, they're very similar.
We'll leave it at that.
Yep. Here goes Helms to work with it. And White Plains trying to get it inside. There's Messer, drop it down for Pearson. Branham underneath lays it in.
Nice work. That's tough to catch that pass down in that traffic, Grady.
Yeah, it is.
Good hands by Brandon.
And now Anniston back to work, trailing for the first time tonight. Bethune has it outside. Felton. Now dish down and out of bounds. It'll be off the hands of Matthew Clay, so it'll be Bulldog basketball. And lob it over everybody to Felton, and the Bulldogs will go back to work. Neither team having a lot of success cracking the defense right now.
Both clubs doing a good job stopping what the others want to do. Nice penetration.
Little finger roll
Yep.
and gets the basket and the harm. That's Jimmy Felton with the basket. And let's see who they'll get the personal on. And that'll be on Chase Helms, I believe it is.
Houston Gonger checking in the game.
His first appearance of the night. Coach Randall going to the bench early as Felton will step up and miss the free throw. Over the back call, I think, coming on Roderick Orr.
He's a big young man,
Yes,
isn't
he is. So he'll pick up his first personal, first team foul on the Bulldogs now, and Anniston will pick up with full court pressure. Play. And I'm not sure what he called there. Maybe.
I think he got him for getting over the line. You cannot cross the line.
Yeah. Get it in for Burridge. Conger's got it, and ahead for Messer, and Messer get it back out to Conger, quickly to Burridge, and Gavin will move with it now. Outside for Clay. In the lane, little floater up and good.
Got it. Nice ball handle, nice penetration, nice elevation and shot from Clay.
So a 4-2 lead now for the Wildcats. Outside look for Bethune. He's got the three.
Swish.
And Anniston takes the lead for the first time tonight. Burridge in trouble in the corner now. Comes ahead for Messer to Branham. And Pearson going to drive in. A little pump fake. Pump fake. Shot up. Won't go. And foul.
He'll get the foul. Double shot fake. They didn't leave their feet, Grady, like they're taught not to do.
Yeah.
And just both sides doing what they were supposed to do there. Pearson will get to the line with a chance to shoot two.
James Haynes will commit the personal. Pearson Branham looking for his third point. Gets it. One more coming up. And makes them both. 4 points here in the quarter for Pearson Branham. Now the Bulldogs back to work. Bethune outside. He's got the three from earlier. Now Felton is going to have it kicked away over there by Conger. Stay Anniston basketball. Long inbounds pass. Felton has to go all the way back past his own free throw line to track it down. Anniston.
I know you can't see him over here on the sideline right now on the screen, but Coach Brown is rather dapper tonight.
Yes, he is. He's well dressed out there.
Got the coat and tie thing going.
That's why I could have never been a basketball coach. You have to dress too well. Branham with another basket. He has got 6 here in the opening quarter. Here's Bethune, a near steal by Messer. Now open is Bethune for 3. Short with that one, and Clay will track it down for White Plains. And there's a foul on Bethune. He bodies up and gets whistled for the personal. First on him, third on the Bulldogs.
White Plains has handled the pressure okay from Anniston early on.
Yep.
Had a couple of breakaways.
And here come the Wildcats.
Should have
pressure.
Numbers now.
Get it into Burridge, and now Anniston will sag back a little bit. There is Messer down to Branham. A little pump fake, blocked from behind that time. James Haynes with the block, and Bethune will have it again. Now handed off to Orr. Come over to Felton. And Bethune kick it in the corner. Wide open look from outside. That one's too strong. And rebounded by Clay on the backside off the miss by Kwame Milton. And wholesale substitutions coming for the Bulldogs. Clay travels with the basketball, got tripped up. And now Anniston will send 4 new ones on the floor.
And Coach Randall responds with 2 off our side.
So the Bulldogs will go back to work into the ballgame now. Hunter Rouse is in there for the first time. Also in is William Fairley. Fairley has it, going to hand it over to Haynes. And now inside, they went for Young. Gets it back outside, and almost losing it there was Fairley. Anniston working it around the perimeter. Trying to get the open look. And there it is for 3. And that one's off the back of the iron from Fairley. Tipped and rebounded inside by Young. And he'll hand it back outside for Rouse. And now the long three-pointer is good. Downtown for James Hayes.
I thought that was a little far, but he made it work.
And we're tied. Helms in the corner.
Trapped in the corner, gonna need a timeout.
And got it by Coach Randall. So timeout on the floor, tie ball game here on Wildcats basketball on the Friday Night Network.
Tom Young and all the attorneys of Young, Wolstein, Jackson, and Whittington are some of the most experienced and respected attorneys in the area. Their firm specializes in personal injury, insurance fraud, workers' compensation, Social Security disability, real estate, and corporate law. The law firm of Young, Wolstein, Jackson, and Whittington. Call them at 256-235-2240.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
So White Plains had trouble with the pressure that time, and Coach Randall saved the possession with a timeout.
Yeah, you just can't get pinned back in that corner like that, Grady.
No.
There's just nothing you can do. You can't see anything. I mean, and unless you played and been in that position, you just don't understand how blinding it really is.
Anniston sags back, then jumps into pressure. Helms in there for 3.
Sweet roll off the rim.
Chase Helms with a big three-pointer. Puts White Plains back on top. Now Young flashes out top of the key. Hand off to Fairley and get it outside Haynes. There's another one. That one will not go, and it'll be tracked down the miss by James Haynes by Gavin Burge, and White Plains has it with a 3-point lead. And there's a steal. Threw it right into the arms of Latrez Hall, and Hall will bring it back out, hand it off to Fairley, and here come the Bulldogs. Haynes with it over on the right wing.
Oh, they are so fast.
Yeah, they are.
Goodness gracious.
Outside look. 3 ball will not go. Tipped around and rebounded by Pearson Branham under there on the miss by Fairley. And White Plains has it another time. There's Preston touching it in the middle. Give and go. Branham gets loose. Misses a layup. Tips it back out. It'll be Anniston basketball. Oh, first miss for Pearson.
Had the back door there.
Yep. Beautiful play.
Just left it off the rim.
Strong pass inside, and now ball is on the floor, and that's going to be a foul on Anniston. That was going to be on Chance Young, I believe.
Gonger's back in the game.
Number 3, Holman Messer.
Messer back in.
Pearson Branham with good minutes in that first quarter for White Plains.
Drake Preston back in.
Helms into Preston. Drake turnaround will not go. Rebounded underneath by Rouse. Anniston off to the races now with Fairley. To Rouse. To Haynes. Driving. Kick it down low to Young. Baseline jumper won't go. Rebounded on the backside. Put back up. No good by Haynes. Put back up this time by Rouse. That's good. 1-point ball game. Full court pressure from Anniston. Get it in for Burge. And he's in that corner. He gets it ahead to Preston, and here come the Wildcats.
And got the numbers on the other side.
Didn't see it, didn't catch it, so they're going to hold for the final shot.
They like to run somebody off the baseline, Grady, into the opposite corner here. Let's see if they get the look they're looking for.
You're going to have to move it, but you're going to get a 5-second
Going to get a 5-second count.
Got away. Kick it outside.
There it is.
Long 3 ball. Nope, too strong for Messer. And that's how the first quarter will end. White Plains with a 1-point lead after 1 here on the Friday Night Network.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Don Hudson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly supports the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome to Calhoun County, Alabama, your natural attraction. We have invigorating outdoor activities, amazing cultural sites, mouth-watering food, and southern hospitality, all wrapped into one amazing vacation destination. Whether you're looking for a relaxing overnight getaway or for a one-of-a-kind escapade, Calhoun County boasts an incredible selection of outdoor recreational opportunities. Calhoun County is the natural attraction, centrally located between Atlanta and Birmingham, with plenty of fun and memories waiting to be made. Come to Calhoun County, Alabama, a natural attraction.
Second quarter about ready to go. Hotly contested first quarter, a 1-point lead for the Wildcats. Both teams missing some opportunities and making some. For White Plains, Chase Helms with 3 points. Pearson Branham led all scorers with 6 in the quarter and 2 points for Matthew Clay. 11 total for White Plains. For Anniston, they spread it around. Savion Bethune with 3, James Haynes with 3, Jimmy Felton with 2, and Hunter Rouse with 2 for the Bulldogs. Now Theron Montgomery is in the ball game. Here is Fairley. Drop it off for Hall, and now inside to Montgomery, and the ball knocked away.
Oh, that's a nice defensive move there.
And White Plains has it.
That was hands defense, Grady.
Coach Randall will love that. Conger with it. Goes baseline, cut off, and loses the ball. The long arm reach of Hall. And Hall will drop it back outside now for Milton. Here's Fairley with it. Now once again for Hall. And Milton another time. And we've got the call on a push-off in there on Anniston. It'll be on Theron Montgomery, his first personal.
Branham back in the game now. Pearson leading all scorers with 6.
Clay gets it in for Helms.
Long breakaway, got it. You didn't see him.
Goes back out to Preston. Preston, Drake is in a little deep now to Branham. Hand it back out to Clay. White Plains can reset. Rifle it inside. Burridge with it. Hand it down low. Preston rescues it. Come back topside for Clay. And Matthew Clay a little deep and tipped away. And I thought White Plains a little out of control with all of that possession.
Yep.
Montgomery's got it. Puts it on the floor. Off the glass, won't go. Rebound by Preston.
Got to give the Wildcats a lot of credit. They've done a nice job on the board against a club bigger than them.
Yep. And Burridge outside for Branham. Outside look, top of the key, long three, short for Matthew Clay. And Helms will rescue the long rebound. Back over to Burridge. Side and pocket shot, no good. Tipped out by Branham, controlled by Anniston for the moment. Now they've got it. And quickly back the other way is Kwame Milton. Milton going to go coast to coast around the defense. And that's a charge on Milton.
And I'm going to tell you, Grady, he was lucky on that one because he was dragging that left leg.
I think what got him was Milton lowered the shoulder.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
And Coach Randall wants a timeout to calm the troops down. We'll take it as well. White Plains leads it by 1 here on the Friday Night Network.
District 40 State Representative K.L. Brown would like to take this opportunity to wish the White Plains Wildcats the best of luck. K.L. Brown is your conservative Republican voice in Montgomery, working hard to make sure that state government is doing its best for everyone in the district. Brown chairs the Children and Senior Advisory Committee while serving on the Agriculture and Forestry and Economic Development and Tourism Committees. As a longtime area business leader, K.L. Brown uses the common sense and leadership skills learned over the years to be a steady, conservative Republican voice for the people in the district. Good luck, Wildcats, from State Representative K.L. Brown.
Out of the White Plains timeout, Wildcats will have it after the charge call against Anniston. That was the first personal on Kwame Milton, and it is the 16th foul now on the Bulldogs, so White Plains will be shooting free throws on the next foul committed by Anniston.
This one's been fun.
Oh, yeah. Very competitive.
Lively game.
Full court pressure by the Bulldogs. White
Got
Plains
numbers. There he is.
And now Preston did not get it across to the open look. Chase Helms cut off inside, throws it away. Taken away by Milton. And this time Milton pulls up, shot over. Nope, that's another charge. Kwame Milton with 2 charges in a row. Matthew Clay taking that one. Offensive foul, so no free throws.
I got to tell you, Grady, you know I'm on our side, but I don't agree with that call. I think he stepped under him. And, of course, you can hear the Anniston faithful across the way. They didn't like it either.
They agree with you. Outside look for Austin Bussey will not go. Rebounded by Hunter Rouse. Bethune now quickly back up the floor with it. Goes around Clay. And another charge.
Now that was a good call.
Yeah.
Coach Brown's got to get his kids to understand they're going to call it.
Yeah.
And if they're going to call it, you just can't penetrate like that.
And a travel now. Good defense by Anniston stepping in there. LaDreka Hall created that turnover for White Plains.
3 charges in 3 trips. Wow.
Don't see that very often.
No, you don't. But it's taught here religiously to stand in there and take that charge.
Yep.
There's no greater thing you can do for a teammate than take a charge.
And Anniston now works the perimeter. Bethune left open.
Wide open.
3 ball good.
Yeah, you got to get out there and get a hand in his face.
And he gives the Bulldogs the lead another time now by 2, their largest lead of the night. Here is Preston running the floor, takes the pass and lays it in.
Oh, that's pretty.
And White Plains ties it up. Now Bethune will find Hall. And now fairly open outside. That 3 will not go from long range for William Penny.
He shot that from out at the golf course.
He did. Hole number 11, it didn't fall. And there is a foul. Reach in by Anniston. LaDreka Hall, I think, is going to be whistled on that one, perhaps. Nope, they're going to say that is Savion. Nope, that is going to be on Fairley, now they get the call. That'll be first, I believe, on William Fairley. But it will be the 9th team foul. And so 1-and-1 opportunity for Matthew Clay can give White Plains the lead once more.
And in a game this close, Grady,
yep.
Free throws are huge.
And that's a miss, short.
And getting to the line this early in the half.
Haynes open for three. Nope. Tipped. Anniston has it. Lost it. And Alston Bussey takes it away. Clay picking up the dribble. Now finds Bussey going inside to Burridge. Lay it down low, looking for Drake Preston. Got tipped out. Preston rescues it. Now he's going to go baseline, rifle it across. Open look outside. No on the three-pointer for Houston Conger, and Anniston clears the rebound. Quickly back up the floor. Felton has it. Haynes will outside. He'll drop it down inside to Rouse. Turnaround, no good. Puts it back up. Nope, but fouled.
They got him on the arm.
Roderick Orr with the shot. He'll go to the line to shoot two. First personal on Drake Preston. Or second personal, make that on Drake Preston.
You know, one thing, Grady, I've noticed about our side is it seems like the guys really know where the ball's supposed to go on most of the offensive sets.
Yeah.
You know, even at a fast pace like this, they know where it's supposed to go. And they're getting it there.
Roderick Orr hits the back of the iron with a free throw, no good.
We hadn't lit it up shooting it yet.
Oh, Ethan Bozarth checks into the ball game for White Plains. Let's see. Orr misses them both. Long rebound comes off, and Anniston with that rebound. Put back up, shot no good by Orr. Rebound again for the Bulldogs. Now kick it back outside, and Anniston will reset. Bethune wants it. He's got it, handed up to Orr, top of the key. Now Haynes. Going back to Bethune, open for three, top of the key. That one too strong, tipped out. At White Plains, Austin Bussey will rescue the ball for the Wildcats. Corner for Helms, inside for Bozarth, top of the key. Clay for three, good!
That's ball movement, Grady. That's as much ball movement as it is the shot itself.
Lob it inside, tip back out this time. Good defense by Bozarth. And White Plains has it. Helms, Conger, inside for Bozarth, tipped out, but right to Clay. Pump fake, shot around the defense, won't go. Orr has the rebound for Anniston. Tipped away from him, but tracked down and rescued by Felton.
Now see, if I'm Anniston, I get Orr in an ISO on one side.
Bethune on the other end ties it again.
Unless, of course, Bethune is open. Then I give it to him.
Yeah, let him shoot. Trapped in the corner.
In that corner again.
And out of bounds off of Anniston. I thought, no, they're going to say off of White Plains.
Or did he call 5 seconds?
He may call 5.
I think he called 5 seconds, Grady.
Yeah, he must have.
Because it wouldn't have been on baseline out if it'd been off on the side over here.
So Anniston gets 2 for 1 on the possession. Felton handed off to Bethune, left alone. Three is good. He is just red hot.
Hey, he's heating it up now.
Goodness gracious.
Bethune is, I mean, he's shooting it from all over the place.
Here's Bozarth going to back it out to Clay. Clay picks up the dribble. Side shot for Bussey inside to Bozarth. Back up to Clay. He's open. Can he match Bethune? No, not this time. The rebound pulled down by Chance Young and the Bulldogs.
Somebody better get on Bethune.
Yeah. Outside shot this time for Young is short, and Clay will claim the rebound for White Plains. Now Bussey hands it back up to Clay. Comes over and in the corner. Helms spots up for three. That one's too strong. And there's a foul created and committed by Houston Conger.
Going after the basketball, though.
Yep.
It's not a bad foul.
Team foul number 4 on the Wildcats. First
Burridge
one.
checking in.
Conger. Now, Savion Bethune can shoot the rock.
I think if you were playing golf, that'd be an eagle, right?
Yeah, that would be. Inside,
nice.
Roderick Orr's got position and going to draw the foul.
Nice pass.
It's going to go on Matthew Clay. That'll be Clay's first, 5th team foul now for White Plains.
Foul number 21, Matthew Millay, his first foul. Team fifth foul.
Good basketball game here tonight at Richard Madden Court. Wow.
Yep.
A lot of electricity in the air.
Always when Anniston comes to town, you know it's going to be good basketball.
Two storied programs facing off.
Lob it inside for Orr. This time Bozarth knocks it away. Good backside help that time on the defensive end.
Watch him. There he is.
There's
Lob.
No answer on the inside for that big fella.
Just can't stop that.
In the corner, Burridge is going to get out of there with it this time for White Plains.
Oh, he almost traveled.
He almost doesn't count.
Yeah, that's right.
Inside for Burridge. Drop it down low. Pump fake. Bozarth goes up, blocked by Orr. And Bethune behind the back dribble. Drop it off on the left side for Felton. Felton will pull it back out. Now Haynes passed on the shot. He was open for a moment, and Anniston will reset Orr. Coming to Bethune and playing him a little tighter now. Haynes with the jumper will not go. Tipped around and loose and out of bounds. It belongs to White Plains.
Whew.
Fast-paced action.
Yes, it is.
Anniston with the 4 or 5 point lead, their largest of the night right now over White Plains. See if the Wildcats can get anything going late here in the second quarter.
Big trip here. Need points. Hadn't had any in the past 2 or 3 trips.
That's true. Burridge outside the Helms. And the Burridge, little head fake, gets loose in the lane, pump fake, goes up and travels before the shot. 3 guys collapsed on him.
Yeah. It's a tough place to be, Grady. It's a lot of timber.
Yeah, it is. So Anniston can hold for the final shot of the quarter should they choose. And
I believe I would.
Try to increase this lead.
And I know who I'd want to take it.
Yeah.
I either want it into the big guy
or outside the Bethune.
To Bethune, run him off a screen.
And we get a timeout taken by Coach Brown and the Bulldogs with 17 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
You don't think this shot's important? Why are you burning timeout?
Yeah, wants to get exactly the shot that he wants.
To get his play.
Yeah.
He's going to draw it up right now.
Yeah, just a quick 30 seconds timeout to talk about here's how we're going to handle it. Here's what I want you to run, and let's make it count.
You don't want to take it, with more than a couple of seconds left on the clock because you don't want to give White Plains a chance to get back down the floor because you know they can.
Yeah.
Been a lively first half, though.
No doubt about that. It's been a fun first half watching these two teams go at it. Anniston kind of assumed control late here in this second quarter. White Plains led for most of the first half.
And if you thought this was quick, wait till Saturday night when we bring you Sacred Heart at Anniston.
Oh, yeah.
There will be some athletes on the floor for that one.
Good gracious. There's a little give and go. Chance Young has to get rid of it out to the corner. Haley chips it inside. It is knocked out of bounds off of Anniston. It'll be White Plains basketball.
So not a lot of time left.
No. And you're going to have to do it against pressure. Going to be hard to get the shot off. Conger's going to, though. Lets it fly off the glass. Won't go at the buzzer at the end of one half. It is Anniston on top by 5 here over the Wildcats on the Friday Night Network.
Tom Young and all the attorneys of Young, Wolstein, Jackson, and Whittington are some of the most experienced and respected attorneys in the area. Their firm specializes in personal injury, insurance fraud, workers' compensation, Social Security disability, real estate, and corporate law. The law firm of Young, Wolstein, Jackson, and Whittington. Call them at 256-235-2240.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Don Hudson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly supports the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Serving Calhoun County for over 30 years, Crawford Office Supply offers selection, convenience, and low prices. Choose from a wide variety of office furnishings featured in their huge showroom. With savings of 50 to 70% off scratch and dent items. You'll find it all from pens and paper to janitorial supplies at Crawford Office Supply, including on-site printing, all backed up by unmatched personal service and free delivery to local business. Crawford Office Supply, 301 South Layton Avenue in Anniston. Remember, buy local, it matters.
District 40 State Representative K.L. Brown would like to take this opportunity to wish the White Plains Wildcats the best of luck. K.L. Brown is your conservative Republican voice in Montgomery, working hard to make sure that state government is doing its best for everyone in the district. Brown chairs the Children and Senior Advisory Committee while serving on the Agriculture and Forestry and Economic Development and Tourism Committees. As a longtime area business leader, K.L. Brown uses the common sense and leadership skills learned over the years to be a steady, conservative Republican voice for the people in the district. Good luck, Wildcats, from State Representative K.L. Brown.
Tom Young and all the attorneys of Young, Wolstein, Jackson, and Whittington are some of the most experienced and respected attorneys in the area. Their firm specializes in personal injury, insurance fraud, workers' compensation, Social Security disability, real estate, and corporate law. The law firm of Young, Wolstein, Jackson, and Whittington. Call them at 256-235-2240.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
White Plains High School, good one here at Coach Richard Madden basketball court tonight. 21-16, the Bulldogs lead as you see there on the screen. Grady Sapp and Jim Jacobs alongside. Only 5 points in the quarter for White Plains, 2 for Drake Preston and a 3 by Matthew Clay for Anniston that quarter. Had 9 big points from Savion Bethune and 2 from Dick Roderick Orr, and that was the 11 points for the Bulldogs. So a big quarter for Anniston, but all on the three-point shooting of Savion Bethune.
And that's enough. I mean, it's been enough.
Yeah.
You know, what do you say? Of course, if you love basketball, you got to love what we got lined up for you on the screen right here. Saturday night in Anniston, Sacred Heart and the Bulldogs. You know, you got Raphael Graves on one side. You know, with Sacred Heart, Deontay Wood, the probably the player of the year in the state, if he can stay healthy. And then, of course, Anniston on the other side. Of course, Raphael went to Anniston, you know, was an assistant with Coach Ware for a long, long time. And, you know, this is one of those games that, well, the last time they played was in that Classic in the county tournament.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
And Anniston knocked them off when they were the, you know, #1 team in the state. I don't think they'd been beaten at the time, maybe once. So should be a great game. We'll have it for you Saturday from Anniston. And, of course, don't forget to join us Thursday night now when we're going to have Sherodrick Smith from Winterboro. He coaches both the boys and the girls. And Tori Brown from Anniston, that's in action here tonight at White Plains, joining us at Struts for our first basketball coaches show of the season. Grady and I will be there to bring you that if we can pause from the wings.
Yes. Well, I'm going for the buffalo chicken nachos.
Buffalo chicken nachos. I may have to try that since you're so high on it.
I am very high on it. You wait till you see them things. They'll bring it out heaped up on the plate. That is some good business right there, I'm telling you.
I hear you.
Looking forward to that.
And, of course, speaking of good business, they got some going down in Tuscaloosa starting Thursday at 11 a.m., Grady. The State Super 7. You know, I'm not a big fan of the format, but how can you not like 7 state championship games in 3 days?
Well, if you love high school football, that's the place to be coming this weekend.
I don't know that it gives us the best matchups Because in 3A, I'm not sure we didn't have the state championship game this past Friday night up at Piedmont.
And, of course, Randolph County going to the South after this year.
Yep.
But, oh, my goodness, what a game in Piedmont Friday night with Randolph County coming from 21 down. It was almost a reverse of what game one was.
Absolutely.
Between those two.
You know, as I kind of, watched that after the fact, I kept thinking, this is just the opposite of what we saw in September when we were down in Wedowee for the game.
Yep. They came roaring back, tied it, and the game came down to a 4th and goal at the 1-yard line with 4 seconds left, and Randolph County got it in after 2 huge plays. Piedmont with a 63-yard touchdown run, I believe, and then a wheel route by Randolph County answered that late, a missed 2-point conversion, but a recovered onside kick, and a drive for the ages for the Randolph County Tigers. I think they probably win the 3A. Of course, it is UMS Wright Prep out of the South in 4A, and I like their chances to win it all.
Yeah, and if you're Andalusia, you got to be sitting down there thinking, gosh, what have we got to do to win one of these?
Yeah, well, beat UMS Wright or Hanley, I guess. You get to the semis 2 years and don't get out of them.
Yeah.
And both of them on your home field, I think.
Yep, absolutely.
Of course, 7A, Hoover
and McGill-Tulane, isn't it?
I think it is.
And that's Wednesday night, I think.
Yeah.
That kicks it all off, and, you just don't bet against Hoover. I'm sorry.
No, they're there.
They're there for a reason.
Yep.
They're just that good.
Of course, you had Sweetwater making it in 1A with the beat Wadley over at Wadley. Ended their season.
Right. That was a close game.
Yeah, it was. And, of course, the other football that's being so heavily talked about is the playoff, the Final Four, if you will. A lot of controversy this time for the committee. And
Grady, and the more I listen to the pundits talk about all this, the more I'm in favor of dumping the championship games in these conferences.
I am. Well, they don't matter.
And going to you're right.
They don't matter. In fact, they're a disadvantage.
They really are. You're right. Because I heard that argument today. They make the selection the weekend before the SEC championship game. Auburn's in, and Georgia or Alabama's probably not in.
Right. I just think if your conference, I think if you don't win your conference, then don't have a conference championship game, because it does not matter. In fact, actually, it's an advantage if you don't have to go play in it.
I think you're probably right, and so I'm in favor of let's. And they say they won't do it because of the TV money. But stop and think what another round of the playoffs would mean.
Well, I'd like to see them expand it and have your Power 5 conference champions in, and then 3 at large.
But you've got to find a way to determine who your conference champion is without a championship game.
You play.
So every game matters.
Yeah, you play just about every other team in the conference.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play of course, in the SEC, it would be impossible. You can't play that many other teams, but they could find a way to do that. I just think you've cheapened the regular season, and you've also, for all of the talk about, you got to have strength of schedule. We're going to look at strength of schedule. That doesn't matter. And they've proven that. I mean, Alabama's strength of schedule was not very strong. Neither really, when you break it down in the Big 12, was strength of schedule for Oklahoma. They had the Ohio State win, which was a quality win.
Well, I think these colleges, like Alabama, like Auburn, like Michigan, like Ohio State, you got to quit scheduling these cupcake games.
But why? Where's the motivation to do that? Because it doesn't matter. They've proven that you can play the cupcakes and still get in. I mean, so why would you not schedule them,
Yeah, but that's got to come to a stop.
Well, it's not going to, as long as it doesn't matter or affect you getting in the playoffs. And, they set this precedent last year with Ohio State getting in over Penn State, who won the Big Ten. I thought it was wrong then, and I think it's wrong with Alabama being in by not winning the conference. I think
but Ohio, I mean, if Wisconsin takes care of their business, Alabama doesn't get in.
Yeah, and look,
okay, so Bama got lucky.
And Ohio State's losses were bad.
Yeah, exactly.
They lost to Iowa, inexcusable. I don't think you deserve to be in losing that bad to an Iowa team.
I think Ohio State's going to get exposed in the bowl game.
Yeah. Well, they'd have gotten the crap beat out of them if they'd have played them.
But all of that's a month away.
Yeah, it is. Looking forward to it.
Well, not quite a month anymore, but close to it. All right, we're getting ready to go second half basketball here at Coach Richard Madden Court. 21-16 Anniston. Wildcats have it to start the second half. Let's see if we can get back in this thing.
Hey, every game matters in high school basketball.
At least until the second half of high school basketball, and then every game matters.
Exactly. All right, White Plains with it to start this third quarter. Burridge will handle it over to Clay, and Anniston packing it in a little bit. And a little.
You haven't thought about it.
Yeah. Preston's got it. Back over to Burridge. Inside now for Messer. Rifles it across the Helms, and Anniston right there on top of it. Inside turnover. Bethune's got it for the Bulldogs.
Kind of saw that coming. Just passing the ball a little too much, I think, without getting a shot up.
Yep. Now here is Haynes outside for three.
Bam.
He got another one for the Bulldogs. Little intel on the inside. Pearson Brandon, who had such a big first quarter, came down on an ankle and twisted it to start the second quarter. And I don't know if we'll see Pearson the rest of the night or not.
Wow, that's big.
He's an important cog for this White Plains team. They had 11 in the first quarter, had 5 in the second quarter. Inside look now for Messer. Tried to shoot over the defense, does so. Coleman Messer with a basket. First points of the night. 6-point lead now for the Bulldogs. Rouse has it, back outside. For Haynes, had the big three on the first trip down the floor. Get it out to Roderick Orr, to Bethune, who lit it up in the second quarter with 3 threes.
Yes, he did.
Now Haynes going to go inside throwaway, taken away by Drake Preston. Ahead now for Messer. Messer rifles it outside the Helms. 3-ball. Good.
Got it. Isn't that the second one he's had to kiss off the rim with?
I think so.
Big bucket for the Wildcats.
Outside look for the Dogs. 3-pointer is good. Kwame Milton with his first points of the night. So it's back to a 6-point lead.
Coach Brown urging his kids on to play defense.
Now Clay, head fake. Free throw line outside to Messer. Messer going to penetrate, go around Orr. Now kick it back into Preston. Wide open look. Drake Preston drops it in. No problem scoring for either team to start the third quarter.
Now somebody's just got to get on a little run here. Which team's it going to be?
Yeah.
They're swapping baskets right now.
Here's Milton in the lane. Dish it down to Rouse, and his shot too strong. Or on the backside. Follow is no good, and we get a whistle and a foul.
He got fouled.
Yep.
A little too much body.
He'll go to the line now and shoot 2. And that's Drake's third personal now. Drake Preston with his third. And we see Pearson Branham back up. That ankle must be feeling better.
Sometimes you just got to play.
That's right.
Run it off.
Run it off. He's got a little brace on it now. Taped it up, and he's back on the floor. Preston will check out with 3 personals. Roger Orr, one more chance here from the charity stripe. Makes that one. Clay going to get it in for Helms. Branham over on the far side by himself. Oh, feeds it down, and there is Messer running the floor. Blocked from behind. Or tiptoes the baseline and saves it.
Nice work by the big man there to get his hand on it and then save the basketball.
Haynes going to drop it down to Rouse. And Rouse turnaround will not go, but he's going to draw the foul.
Nice job leaning in, Grady, on the shot to draw the body contact to get to the charity stripe.
So Hunter Rouse will go to the line, and that personal is on Matthew Clay. That'll be his second personal. Second team foul now on White Plains here in the third. And Rouse buries the first free throw. One more coming up.
Of course, Torrey Brown tabbed to replace legendary coach Schuessler Ware in his second season now with Anniston.
So here is Burridge and Clay. Now Banner back out to Clay. Little head fake, penetrate. Off, and that was blocked and a foul on Anniston.
Don't forget now, Thursday night at Struts for the Coaches Show, 7 o'clock. Grady recommends
Buffalo chicken nachos.
Buffalo chicken nachos. My suggestion is put the menu up, throw a dart. Anything you find is going to be good.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Look forward to having Sherodrick Smith join us. He's always entertaining. He's always trying to sucker me into a one-on-one, Grady. I told him I didn't want to hurt him.
Yeah. Here is the inside, and the takeaway stolen there by Chase Helms. White Plains has it down by 4. Matthew Clay thought about the long shot, needs to get rid of it. Pearson Branham's got it. Nice give and go down low. Laying it up and in is Messer. Assist to Branham that time.
Yeah, Messer needs to give Branham half those points.
Yep.
Because it was off that great pass.
Now the Bulldogs see their lead cut to 2. Midway through the third quarter. Anniston back to work.
And you know, Grady, I think if you were White Plains and you were talking to Coach Randall before this game and you said, hey, you'll be almost dead even going into the 4th, he'd take that.
Yep. Foul going to be whistled on Matthew Clay against Hunter Rouse.
Can't overemphasize what a young club this is, not necessarily class-wise, but playing time-wise.
Yeah, experience, they don't have a lot of that. Third personal there on Matthew Clay, and that is one of your important scorers in foul trouble right now. And Conger going to get quickly up off the bench and head back in there. Houston Conger. Not sure who he went and got.
I mean, it's amazing when you can come out and be competitive and you don't have a single starter back.
Yeah, and here they are playing it tight against a Bulldog team that we know's got talent. Oh, nice little move by Savion Bethune, runs it down the baseline and lays it down.
Bethune is a basketball player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Ahead, Pearson Branham. Rifles it over, knocked out of bounds that time. Quick defense there for the Bulldogs by William Fairley.
Yeah, you got to give Fairley a lot of credit, Grady. He saw that. He knows White Plains wants to do that cross-court pass, and he ran it down before it had a chance to get to its target.
Play into Burridge, get it into Preston. Drake rifles it across. Open look for Conger. That is way too strong, and Anniston will have it on the missed shot. Leading by 4. Coleman Messer back up and going to quickly get back on the floor for White Plains. And Matthew Clay will check out with 3 personals. A little bit of foul trouble for White Plains right now with Drake Preston and Matthew Clay both with 3 personals.
It's easy to see, too, with this Anniston club. A lot of talent on the floor. A lot of talent.
Bulldogs will go back to work with that 4-point lead. White Plains got it down to as few as 2 a moment ago. Oh, there's a screen. That's going to be on Roderick Orr.
Moving screen.
Yep. That was an easy call.
Boy, they didn't get it to him, though, Grady. He had us pinned on his hip down in the lane. He had an easy basket if they just got it to him.
End of the ball game now is Jaden Harris for White Plains. First time tonight. Into Branham. Kick it back up now. Top side for White Plains. You're going to have to. Shot underneath is good by Drake Preston.
Good move by Preston.
All right.
Got the roll off the glass. Soft rim.
Here come the Bulldogs back. Basket would not be good if it had fallen. That foul is going to be on White Plains. And is that on Drake Preston? If it is, that'll be 4.
Yep, his 4th foul.
Yep.
You're going to have to set him now.
Yep.
Got to have him for the 4th quarter. Kind of a foolish foul from behind when you know you're in foul trouble. Drake's got to play a little smarter than that. Heat of the moment.
Ooh. Oh, quick run, and the finger roll drops in there for James Haynes. For Anniston now, full court pressure applied by the Bulldogs. White Plains beats that. Pearson Branham gets in deep and travels. And a timeout now for Coach Randall and the White Plains Wildcats. They trail by 4 here on the Friday Night Network.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Don Hudson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly supports the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Timeout. Bulldogs will have the basketball and a 4-point lead here at White Plains. Final couple of minutes of the third quarter. It's been a fast and exciting third quarter so far.
Yes, it has. Full throttle.
Yeah, Montgomery back in the ball game right now for Anniston. There's Fairley finding Haynes going in the corner now. Will the Bulldogs, they find Hall over there.
Anniston very deliberate.
Young dishes it off to Montgomery. Strong to the hoop, gets the basket.
Dangerous time of the game for White Plains, Grady. Need a good trip here, get some points.
And that's not going to do it. Anniston, I thought, was going to have the steal, and now the reach-in foul going to be on White Plains. And that's going to go on Coleman Messer. That will be his first and the 4th team foul now on the Wildcats.
The foul with number 3, Coleman Messer. His first foul.
So down by 6, and Anniston now with another chance.
Yeah.
Not what you were looking for if you're White Plains.
You've got to capitalize on every opportunity at this point to try to shrink this lead a little bit, because at some point Anniston's going to start playing a little more deliberate.
And Coach Randall is coaching over there on the sideline.
Yep.
Hard. Get it back in for Fairley. Hand it off to Haynes now for Anniston. Lob it inside to the big man. Montgomery misses the point-blank layup and chased down by Austin Bussey. Good job on the inside. And almost throws it away, but Clay will track it down. So that's a big stop defensively for White Plains.
Yes, it was. Point-blank miss by the Bulldogs.
And shot outside is good for Matthew Clay.
That was from Michael McGuirk country.
I guess Chase Helms changed jerseys. He's number 12 now. Trying to figure out who that was, because I don't have a 12, but that's got to be him. He was wearing 5. Must have had a blood on it or something. Now a 3-point game. Anniston working it around the perimeter. There's Montgomery spin and tied up. And they're going to call Bussey on the reach-in, I believe. Tried to tie the ball up, but got arm instead. And indeed, that'll be Austin's first personal.
Big man headed to the line.
Here in Montgomery, 2 points here in the ball game, trying to add to that total. And he's going to be short with the first free throw. Jimmy Felton going to check back in the game. James Haynes will check out now for the Bulldogs. And Jaden Harris out now for White Plains. And Houston Conger back on the floor. Montgomery's second free throw no good as well. Bussey will clear the rebound. So White Plains could tie this thing up. They can hit a 3.
I'll take 2.
Here's Helms inside for Burridge. Oh, nice little give and go. Conger with the pump fake and the foul. And that's going to be on Theron Montgomery, his second personal. Team's third.
Yeah, Coach Brown over here telling him, look, don't leave your feet. Hold your arms straight up. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And he's probably right, as big as those guys are. Yeah. That's some tall timber.
First free throw, no good for Houston Conger. Ethan Bosarth back in the ball game. Matthew Clay will have a seat.
Every opportunity, Grady. Every opportunity matters at this point.
Does. Second free throw for Conger is good.
Got it.
Making it a 2-point game now. And Anniston can hold for the final shot of the quarter. Got Hall back in the game. Now Montgomery flashes outside top of the key. And the Bulldogs just working it around, looking for an open shot.
Well, they've had a couple of them.
Yeah.
And have passed on them.
Now they'll take it because it's under 5 seconds. Montgomery. Hall, long three, no good at the buzzer. 2-point ball game, headed to the fourth here on the Friday Night Network.
Tom Young and all the attorneys of Young, Wolstein, Jackson, and Whittington are some of the most experienced and respected attorneys in the area. Their firm specializes in personal injury, insurance fraud, workers' compensation, Social Security disability, real estate, and corporate law. The law firm of Young, Wolstein, Jackson, and Whittington. Call them at 256-235-2240.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Outscored the Bulldogs 18-14 in that third quarter. Coleman Messer had 5 points in there. 1 point in the quarter for Conger, 3 for Chase Helms, 4 in the quarter for Drake Preston, and 5 for Matthew Clay. For Anniston, it was Savion Bethune with 2, James Haynes with 5, 3 for Kwame Milton, 1 apiece for Fairley and Orr, and 2 for Theron Montgomery. Bulldogs open the fourth quarter with a basketball.
Here we go. Final 8, Grady.
Bethune lob it inside. Roderick Orr has the easy layup. Great pass. And now we get the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be White Plains basketball. Coleman Messer going to check in. Austin Bussey going to check out. And Coach Randall not happy. They'll lob it up ahead for Messer. He's got it. Now he'll get it into front court. Wisely drops it off with Clay. There's Burridge in the lane. Double team. Get it back out to Clay. Open for 3. No. Long ball tipped back out. Clay will track it down for the Wildcats. Helms getting it into Burridge. Give and go down along to Messer. Double team. It goes up strong but travels.
It's easy to do, Grady.
Oh.
You just get in there in that tall timber and you're not sure exactly what to do. And for some reason, the feet always want to move before the hands do.
Orr going to hand it off to Haynes. It's a 4-point game right now. Need a good defensive good series this time. Bethune going to miss everything. And he might have clipped the net on the way by. Drake Preston going to get it back up and in the ball game. Drake with 4 personal fouls. Messer going to check out. So he's playing with 4. Got to be aware. Get it in for Drake Preston, and he is going to take it down, and he travels. Slides the foot.
These late turnovers, Grady.
Yep. Messer going to get back in the game now for Preston.
Anniston's not going to give you a ton of chances.
No. Gotta protect on the live ball turnovers against a good team like Anniston. Bulldogs looking for their first win of the season tonight.
Yeah, you know, I just thought about that about 5 minutes ago about how this team could be winless. I'd hate to see the kids they've played.
I'm telling you.
Holy cow.
So the Bulldogs back to work Felton.
And we'll see a couple of them later this year on the FNN game of the week, Sylacauga and Talladega at the Chucky Dome. That ought to be a good one.
That should be. Anniston, there's Felton. Nice little move down the baseline. Shot no good. But going to the free throw line is going to be Rouse. Rouse will be there shooting 2.
He got hammered.
Yeah, he did.
But what do we always say? If you're going to foul, foul.
Oh, foul. Yeah. Don't leave any doubt about it. Second personal on Coleman Messer. 7th team foul now on White Plains, so Anniston will shoot the rest of the way. This will be a 2-shot opportunity.
Who can make the free throws down the stretch? First one's off the front of the rim, no good.
Pearson Branham checking back in.
Yeah, you can see him favoring that ankle, though.
Yeah, but he's
playing hurt.
Yep. And the second one's good. 1 for 2 for Rouse. And Clay having all kinds of trouble getting it in, and almost a steal by Anniston, but White Plains maintains possession.
Setting it up. Every trip for the Wildcats critical. Got to get points. Cut this lead.
Yep. Down by 5. Still a 2-possession game. In there for Burridge. Cut off. Kick it back in the corner. Conger spots, shoots. Good.
Got it. Big basket right there for number 4.
Houston Conger. Here come the Bulldogs back on the attack. Lead cut to 2 again.
Need a stop. Get this crowd back in it.
Now Bethune. Lob it down. Got it in a chance. Young. His basket's good. That's 2 really good entry passes.
Coach Randall has had enough of that lob.
Yep. Calling the troops over. Going to have a timeout on the floor with 5:37 remaining here on the Friday Night Network.
District 40 State Representative K.L. Brown would like to take this opportunity to wish the White Plains Wildcats the best of luck. K.L. Brown is your conservative Republican voice in Montgomery, working hard to make sure that state government is doing its best for everyone in the district. Brown chairs the Children and Senior Advisory Committee while serving on the Agriculture and Forestry and Economic Development and Tourism Committees. As a longtime area business leader, K.L. Brown uses the common sense and leadership skills learned over the years to be a steady, conservative Republican voice for the people in the district. Good luck, Wildcats, from State Representative K.L. Brown.
Back at Coach Richard Madden basketball court. Full timeout taken by the Wildcats. Coach Randall, as you said, Jim, had enough of the lob inside. Wants to cut out the easy basket.
Try to stop it. Yeah. And really, Grady, I think the only way you're going to be able to is to just have some weak side help and get somebody behind the guy so he can't, get that
easy
edge.
Rub,
that rub. 4-point game right now.
Really impressed by Savion Bethune. Not only can he just shoot the lights out of it, he is really, really good at passing the ball inside.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback on the floor for Coach Brown.
He really is.
Really is. Nice game.
Here's Clay. Trouble again getting the ball in. They do now to Burridge. And Gavin, drop it down for Pearson Branham. Gets under, pump fake. Shot up, won't go. Rebound underneath. That's a big stop for Anniston. Rouse pulls down the rebound. Now, here's Bethune. Drop it over to Haynes. Goes back up top side for Milton. Taken away by Burridge on the pass. And there's the foul. No basket, but the foul on Savion Bethune.
Boy, great play there by Burridge on the defense, Grady.
Yeah,
anticipated the pass, stepped in front of it, knocked it away, and then ran it down.
Third personal on Savion Bethune. 4th on the Bulldogs here in the third quarter.
Be baseline out for the Wildcats.
Burridge to do the honors. Finds Helms in the corner. They're going to double team him. And he finds Matthew Clay trying to tag team him on the sideline. He gets around it. A lot of contact over there. Now come back out to Preston Drake.
They are letting them play.
Into Helms. 3 is no good. And the rebound underneath by Bethune. Savion fires it ahead to Milton. Kwame back up top side to Young, to Bethune, and now right wing Haynes open for 3. No, too strong. Off of the hands of Anniston. Rouse touched it last.
White Plains baseline out. Clock starting to become a factor.
Yep, under 5 now in the game. Young will play the baseline as Rouse will check out. Roderick Orr is back in the ball game for the Bulldogs. And now this time, Conger will take the inbounds pass, picks up the dribble, triple team. Clay goes right around Young. And now finds Helms. Oh, a long three for Matthew Clay. Off the back of the iron, won't go, and tied up, and it belongs to White Plains. Conger ties it up.
Man, I think that was a little far out for Clay.
Yeah, that was a long three. Matthew going to inbound it underneath the offensive board.
There it is in the corner, Grady.
Right back inside to Drake Preston. Handed off. Oh, nice feed. Blocked in there, though, by Chance Young. And it will stay White Plains basketball.
Man, the post players for Anniston are just beast.
They are. They're tall. They're lanky. Long arms.
Good hops.
Conger in the corner. Cross courts it to Helms. And Helms has it stolen. Quick hands by Haynes. And Anniston coming down. Lob it out for Milton. Kwame Milton's three is good.
Oh, that's a dagger shot right there, Grady.
And that stretches it out to 7 now. And the takeaway by Milton on the other end. The layup is good.
Timeout, Coach Randall.
And 5 unanswered there. And a 9-point advantage for the Bulldogs here on the Friday Night Network.
Serving Calhoun County for over 30 years, Crawford Office Supply offers selection, convenience, and low prices. Choose from a wide variety of office furnishings featured in their huge showroom. With savings of 50 to 70% off scratch and dent items. You'll find it all from pens and paper to janitorial supplies at Crawford Office Supply, including on-site printing, all backed up by unmatched personal service and free delivery to local business. Crawford Office Supply, 301 South Layton Avenue in Anniston. Remember, buy local, it matters.
Quick timeout by the Wildcats as Anniston on a run right now, Jim. They've stretched the lead to 9.
Yeah, Grady, that 5-point quick run by Anniston. Coach Randall had to get the timeout just to calm the troops here because you let this thing get away from you if you don't.
Yeah, it's been a close ball game throughout, but right now, Anniston has pulled it out to the largest lead of the night, and as we hit the halfway point of quarter number 4.
Hear the Anniston faithful across the way from us, screaming defense.
Preston in deep, come back out, find the open man in Bussey. Clay moves with it, bounces underneath the Burridge. Pump fake, shot blocked from behind. Great defense again by the Bulldogs. And Anniston really threatening to run away. Here is Milton. That three will not go. Conger with the rebound.
The size of Anniston has been the difference in the fourth quarter.
Yep. You've had what you thought were open shots underneath, and Anniston just comes in there and blocks them. Going to have to hit everything from the outside right now, it seems like.
Yeah, just going to have to get ball movement and try to spring somebody free, rub somebody off a screen. I just don't think it's inside, Grady. They've kind of packed it down in there, although there's one.
Preston misses it, puts it back up, misses it again. And back come the Bulldogs. Young with a rebound. Here is Haynes. Young, top of the key, not going to shoot it from there. Haynes, though, going to drive baseline, drop it off. And Bethune rescues it. Outside for Milton. Three is good.
Bulldogs pull it away.
Yep. Largest lead of the night. Austin Bussey drop it off for Conger. His three is no good. And the rebound underneath cleared by Milton. And the Bulldogs fired ahead to Bethune. Drop it off to Young. Easy layup.
Bulldogs are feeling it now.
And they're out to a 14-point advantage here. Bussey, 2-on-2 break. Back out to Clay. Long three off the back of the iron. No good. And the rebound cleared by Roger Core. It's going to be off of White Plains, out of bounds. And now Jaden Harris back in for the Cats. And, man, this Bulldog team impressive when they feel it.
Grady, they just came out in the fourth quarter and kind of had a really solid game plan.
Yeah.
Used the size inside.
And the big threes by Kwame Milton. And the defense, and now we get a travel and a turnover by Young and the Bulldogs. They haven't done much wrong in the fourth quarter.
Can't you just imagine seeing these two big guys from Anniston going up against Wood Saturday night?
Ought to be fun.
Holy cow. Hope you'll join us.
And there's another turnover.
Takeaway.
Milton to Young. And backs it around and lays it in. Chance Young with another basket. He's got 6 in the quarter. And there's a foul.
Yeah, White Plains has lost their composure right now.
Yeah. Haynes with the foul. And the Anniston crowd going wild.
Hey, multiply this by about 3 Saturday night. It's going to be a full house when Sacred Heart and this bunch gets together.
Yeah, it will be rocking.
Cannot wait for that one. And you know, if you're Anniston, you got to be feeling good. It's the first win of the season.
Yep. Preston with the miss and Milton with the rebound. Bethune for 3. Nope, in and out. Rebounded by Bosarth, and White Plains coming the other way. Play in the lane, loses the ball, taken away by Young, and Haynes has it for Anniston. Give it back now to Bethune, spots up, going to pass it over to Haynes, wide open for 3 from the corner, that won't go. Harris keeps it alive, but right into the hands of the Bulldogs. Bethune open for 3. Nope, too flat, and the tip rebound comes out for Bussey. And we've got some moisture on the floor that the official wants to get cleaned up down here under the basket.
About to go under a minute left in this one. White Plains, 3.5 quarters, Grady. 3.5 quarters, solid basketball.
Yep. Anniston just pulled away with good shooting and hustle and great passing.
Well, they got their big man. They got their big men involved.
Yep.
You know, when White Plains didn't have an answer for that, and then of course, like you said, the timely threes.
Yeah, they've got a couple of those here by Kwame Milton in the quarter. And White Plains has only scored 3 points in this fourth quarter, so the defensive effort has been outstanding by the Bulldogs.
Well, you know, that was one of the question marks we had on this squad when the season started is, you know, where are the points going to come from?
Yep.
No more Michael McGuirk, no Macy Carr.
And if the shooting is cold, Bussey with 3, that's no good. And the rebound for Anniston. Bethune got it out to Haynes, and here come the Bulldogs under 50 to go now.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Anniston just burn some clock here.
Yeah.
Bulldog faithful having fun along the way.
Indeed they are. 30 seconds to go in this one.
You know, they've lost 4, Grady, before tonight. And that's not something Anniston's used to.
Could be a very productive week if they're able to get the win here and win again on Saturday night. I don't know who they've got in between. But, of course, Sacred Heart will be a tough game for the Bulldogs.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if Wood dresses, which he's supposed to.
Final 5 seconds. Bulldogs with a resounding win here on the road. And that's an over and back call on Anniston. So the final 3 seconds. White Plains will have it one final time. And Bussey's going to inbound. Gets it in for Helms. He will fire up a 3 at the buzzer. No good. Our final tonight, 52-36. Bulldogs win it, and they do so by holding White Plains to only 3 points in the quarter, Jim. That is impressive anytime.
Especially on this floor.
Yep. And the Bulldogs put 17 up. So 17-3 that fourth quarter, and that's the difference tonight.
And I think if you look at a shot chart too, Grady, 6 of those 17, or maybe even 8 of them, came from points down in the paint, you know, lobbing it into the big guys.
Yep.
And then, of course, they hit the 2 timely threes off the baseline, and that was the difference.
And first win of the season for Anniston. It won't be the last.
No, I don't think so. Saturday night, Sacred Heart and Anniston. We'll have that one for you in the FNN Game of the Week. Don't forget to join us Thursday from Struts for the Coaches Show. Torrey Brown will talk about this one. I'm sure he'll be very proud.
No doubt about it. Got to be pleased with it.
Roderick Smith joining us as well from Winterboro to set up the big game with TC on Friday night. And then, of course, basketball Friday and Saturday here on the network. For my partner, Grady Sapp, for the hard-working camera crews here at the gym, for Jake Jacobs producing over in the corner, I'm Jim Jacobs. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night, and we'll see you Thursday from Struts, everyone.
been an exclusive sports production of FNN, the Friday Night Network.